Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Bulls Weekly. Joining me on this recap edition, we have head baseball coach Jeremiah Robbins. Jeremiah, an opportunity to watch you guys at home for 2 weekends in a row. Had some great baseball. You guys actually played 6 games over the course of a week. We talked to you a little bit about the St. Martin's series last week. There's actually only a doubleheader here on Monday. You guys got that one? You guys had an opportunity to host Montana State Billings this last weekend. You guys ended up getting a sweep in that series. You guys moved your record to 24-7, 13-1 in the GNAC, went up 6 games in the GNAC. But to me, you talk a lot of times about it's not always the result. It's not always about the win. It's about the process that goes into it. I want to hear a little bit about just kind of the process that went into getting to the sweep this weekend. And one of the series you told me was one of the most complete ones you think you've had since you've been here. Yeah,
it was definitely a very good series by our guys. A few things that that I feel we've lacked in a little bit is situational hitting. I thought we achieved that this last weekend. We had some runners on and with no outs, and we're able to get a hit instead of sack bunting. I like that approach with our kids. And then we turned it back around, and we still were able to bunt good that set up some big innings for us. I really enjoyed watching our guys run the bases and being aggressive and not taking a few risks, and it paid off for them. Obviously, as you go against different clubs, you feel you can find something that you can exploit a little bit, and I thought we did on the bases. And I was very impressed with our guys doing that. Complete efforts from our starting pitchers too, against a very good hitting team, and it was every game. And AJ Burt came in, his last start was against Sonoma State, and he came in Game 4. We adjusted our rotation a little bit, and he absolutely did everything we asked. I was hoping he would go a couple more innings, but he ran out of a bit of gas there, and then we backed him up with Doogie coming out of the pen, and he was very good on the weekend. So some little things that we focused on during practice during the week we were able to achieve. I liked our energy in the dugout through all 4 series too. It was a good weekend.
I just want to make a note on that one too. You guys ended up scoring 2 different games. You guys had 10+ runs in it, but you guys only gave up 5 runs in the entire series. That was a pretty impressive performance. And we talk about your starters a lot. We know you have a very good rotation in there right now with Grady Wood, Travis Bradshaw, Kirkland, and as you mentioned, AJ Burt coming in there. But this last weekend, and we know it's always important to go forward, that bullpen. That bullpen led maybe by Ian McDougall out of that one was pretty impressive. Just talk about those ones that had 8 2/3 innings pitched, only gave up 1 hit, 1 run, but it was actually an unearned run at that time, and 11 strikeouts. That was a pretty dominating performance out of there from guys you'll need.
Absolutely, and both those guys coming out of the pen, Wilson and McDougall, both those guys, if we needed to start them, we could. And Wilson's already proved what he can do on the mound. We moved Jason to the pen to let him relax mentally a little bit. We felt with where we were at in the season that to get him into the bullpen, bring him out in a different game situation would be beneficial for him, and obviously it showed with what he did when he backed up in that game with Bradshaw. But it was just a good job, with Grady. But there are some other arms in that pen too that we've been working very, very hard with that are showing huge signs of improvements, and they'll get opportunities hopefully this weekend. I feel very confident about our bullpen. And I know it's something that we've talked about with one of the things that we felt has been lacking here at Western is having a dominant bullpen. And we're getting to that point where we've got, probably 4 other arms that we could run out there too that I think would give us, I hate looking at numbers too much, but some of the similar numbers that we're seeing from McDougall or Jason Wilson when he got his opportunity. So that will come. The starters as you go into your second half of the season, there is a bit of a fatigue factor that is setting in with them, so we're going to have that strong bullpen. Brian Piska has been a huge surprise for us this year. We redshirted him last year. He has developed tremendously. He is going to be a huge factor for us as we go down the backstretch in the second half of our season. So, we've got some arms. We're loaded, and I feel that they're ready to go. I'm excited for them when they do get their opportunity.
Talk about some of those guys you talked about with Burke going from the bullpen to the starting role, kind of that way. One of the guys that have done that kind of throughout his career is Kirkland. And so we want to make sure, it was actually Kirkland got the West Region's Pitcher of the Week this week, and Blake Miller got the Hitter of the Week this week. So it was a great job, kind of just collect performance. I want to talk about Kirkland there specifically. He picks up a save in the game against St. Martin's to complete that doubleheader sweep for you guys. Big one there. And then comes back on Sunday this last week, throws 8 innings, doesn't give up a run, gives up 7 hits. It was a great performance by him. And just seems like he's always that guy that you've been able to kind of shift between those roles. And whether he's in the rotation, he's making it stronger, whether he's in the bullpen, he's making it stronger.
Kirk has been awesome. And you know, we got him here as a high school senior, and he's always been kind of the rock of the pitching staff, even as a freshman with what he did of filling some roles for us then and just progressing each year. Just an outstanding young man that you know what you're going to get every opportunity when he's pitching for you. And whether it's in relief, starting, whatever it is, he's a warrior. And he's one of those guys that will definitely be missed after 2012. He's made a huge impact on our program, on our pitching staff, and obviously on us as coaches. He's an awesome kid.
And talking about Blake Miller, you guys had 6 different games, but 3 different days last week. Guys, a homer each of the days. He's one of them amongst many of you guys that you guys are destroying the slats out there on your outfield wall, basically. You guys are hitting them off there all the time. He had 4 doubles on the weekend, 3 home runs, 8 RBI, 11 runs scored. Talking about him, he's been a very solid contributor, both in the lineup and in the middle of the diamond for you.
Yeah, and coming into this week, or last week with off of the Central Washington series, he was a little bit quiet up there at the Central Washington series. They pitched him pretty tough, and he gave away some at bats. So I loved his focus as he went through the weekend, and he got some good efforts from the pitchers that he was seeing, and he was able to hit some of their better pitches. Or when they made a mistake, he was ready for it. So guys like him, we need to get him rolling, keep him rolling. There's probably 4 other kids that need to kind of jump on board with him and get rolling a little bit, obviously, as we head into NNU this weekend. But that was just a great effort by him. I definitely saw the team relax a little bit when he got going, and a few other guys jumped on board with him. So it was a fun week for him, and hopefully he'll continue that.
I just want to make a quick other note about Blake Miller, and whether it's Mike Ganji or Josh Solomsauce over at second base. That's got to be one of the better middle infields, at least during the time I've been here. They're getting to a lot of balls. It's fun because how much, especially with Grady, the number of balls that get hit on the ground, it's fun to see the number that those guys get to them, the quick pick up off the ground and throw. They've just been a very entertaining group to watch in the middle infield, and like you said, Blake providing it with the bat as well. Well, the Wolves, I know you never wanted to big and talk about rankings or anything like that, but we won't talk about the national rankings, and we don't do that very much on the show, but we just want to make a note because I know people have been asking me, and I'm sure Coach Robbins hears this the same thing too. The regional rankings are expected to come out next week. These are the actual NCAA ones, not the SIDs putting something together, the ones that really have impact on it. It is kind of broken down kind of an RPI type of fashion where you have its overall record, your record against teams in your region, record against teams over 500. There's many different categories, but it's kind of a quote-unquote scientific formula they put into something like that. So it's kind of a highly anticipated date, but just want to let everybody know, as they always expect, it's coming out, it should be next Wednesday. So just wanted to give the fans who watch this the update. And Jeremiah, I just want to say thanks for coming into the studio today, and thank you all for watching this edition of Wolves Week.